Hi everyone, it's Nancy Bastine, and I have been away for a few days. I don't know. Last year I got a flu shot, and I have been ill ever since I got the flu shot. Now I have autoimmune, and I have fibromyalgia. And then I got my hiatal hernia operated on, and I thought for sure after that my stomach would be okay. Well, it's okay to a point, but if I eat certain foods or I can't even pinpoint what food it is that causes things, but all of a sudden I'll just get a bout of, but what I'm going to tell you is I got this flu shot on the 11th of October last year, and I have had diarrhea ever since I got it. I have been to the gastroenterologist, I have had tests done, I have had a colonoscopy. Nobody seems to know. There's no problems. Nobody seems to know the problem other than contribute to the flu shot. And this has been going on for a year, and for the last 2 or 3 days after the last time I filmed, I got really sick and was in bed for a couple of days. And it just wears me out. It just takes all the energy out of me because I don't want to eat or drink anything. And so my energy level gets real low. Anyway, then on top of that, the two dogs were groomed. Well, Molly went and had her teeth cleaned on the first Tuesday of this month, and she had a couple of teeth pulled. So I was dealing with that, and then I took them to the groomers, and they were fine. And then Belle had her surgery done on Thursday, and she has been a really sick little puppy. But she's doing better today, so the day she had her surgery and I brought her home, she didn't want me to leave her sight. She wouldn't stay in her bed or anything. If I walked out of the room, she wanted to follow me, which was fine, but, you know, she was still kind of groggy from the anesthetic, and she needed to rest. So I couldn't get anything done that day, and in between when Wes would be in the room, I started doing some things, some crafting things. So what this mess is right here on my table is I wanted to be a real smarty pants and try to figure out how people who are just starting out doing mixed media, and they don't have a whole lot of stuff, and maybe they don't have, they want to make paper tape, but they don't have double stick tape or the expensive score tape that I had, or, you know. So I thought, well, I would be a smarty pants, and I would try out some strips of paper and see if I could glue it down to these different mediums, these different glues. Okay, well, I tried Mod Podge. That was a failure. That just peeled right off. Yeah, nah. That didn't work. So now this one is done with the Yoo-hoo stick. Yeah. Failure. No good. And what's underneath there is, I figured everybody could afford a roll of, or may have it in their house, of, oh, here goes my brain again. What kind of tape is this? What kind of tape is this, guys? What kind of tape is this? You know what kind of tape this is. I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, I figured that most people would have a roll of this in their house. Anyway, so this was Yoo-hoo glue. These two pieces here were done with Elmer's School Glue stick glue. And as you can see, thumbs down, and didn't work. So there's 2 rows of that. So this is, and I bought this a long time ago. It is called Lick and Stick. And if you're making your own envelopes, you could buy this and stick it on where the envelope seals and let it dry. And then you could wet it or lick it. It has a little doggy on here showing you how it licks and sticks. Anyway, that is this little piece here. And I tore a piece off of that. And failure. No, comes right off the tape. Nothing wants to stick to this. Masking tape, that's what it is, masking tape. No. Okay, so then I dug out the Eileen's tacky glue. I thought, well, okay, anything should stick to the Eileen's tacky glue, right? And this I put on that artist tape. I thought, well, I'll try it on a different tape. No, didn't work. So therefore, my great idea, and what I thought I was going to make $1 million off of, is a failure. Total failure. I do not know how, unless I didn't try. I thought that would just be too much trouble. Is try to put gesso on the paper or on the tape. No, wasn't going to do that. If it didn't work with the glue, I wasn't going to try anything else. And I had cut up all these strips because I thought, oh, I was going to make a whole bunch of glue sticks out of my, or washi tape. So this is a piece of the Mod Podge glue. You can see it on here. Yeah, didn't work. So anyway, I have all these strips, and what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to weave them together like Josie did. But not today. I'm going to show you some other stuff. And you can stay with me if you want for this video, or you can leave. But I'm going to just move all this stuff, take all this stuff away, and get my table ready, and I'll be right back with another thing that I've been doing and that we're going to do today. So hang with me. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got this idea from, I've been watching YouTube videos, laying in bed, taking care of Bill, taking care of myself. And I came across Southern Gals Designs. That's her YouTube video. And she does this, I call it graffiti paper when I was doing it just on paper. But what these are don't throw your cracker boxes away. Don't throw your boxes away. This is a Ziploc box. This is a vanilla wafer box. And this is what I've been doing. Now, I really need to learn to take pictures of my work before I cut it up. But what these are, this is a cracker box on the back, and I've done this graffiti painting on them and cut them. These are a little bit short for, but they're leftovers. But I've cut them in the size of a postcard. And cover this side with white paper or gesso it or whatever, and put your address on there and put a stamp on it, and it will go as a postcard. They're not real heavyweight. So save your Ritz cracker boxes. And so I did a couple of those. And then I got something in the mail. I can't remember what it was. And it came in this real light cardboard. You know those mailers. So I took it apart and I painted it. And I got 4 cards out of it. And what was left over from both of them, you get these little strips after you cut it. I made tags with the rest of it. So, ladies, gentlemen, you know when you buy a pad of paper, the mixed media paper, watercolor paper, what have you, it has the cardboard on the back. Don't throw it away. You can use it. Paint it. Graffiti on it. Paint graffiti and cut it up and use it in your Happy Mail, or, you know, send it out in postcards. I thought she had a wonderful idea. So I have cut up, now these ends that come off, I've cut up another vanilla. I love vanilla wafers, and that's really good on my stomach, as vanilla wafers. These pieces, you can paint them and either make tags out of them or save them and run them through your Big Shot with your, I showed you that on another video, with your dies. And they come out gorgeous on this paper. So don't throw these away either. Keep your ends, because they work also. Alright guys, hang on a minute. I gotta go right over here and get me a package of wet wipes. Reaching up on the top shelf. Got me a package of wet wipes. Always need wet wipes when you're painting. Okay, I showed you the Dina Wakley paints that I got the other day. That's what we're going to use. I love those paints. Now, that was before my freeze. Remember, my freeze started the 1st of October. So I'm still getting in the mail stuff that I bought in September when my freeze wasn't on yet. But when I went to Joann's, I showed you the Luminar paints that I got from Joann's that came in these little packages. But I also bought these Dynaflow. And I have no idea if these are like, I know they were over in where the fabrics are, and it says that they super soft on natural or synthetic fabric and paper. So they're really thin, and they're almost like an ink, like, not an ink, well, yeah, or like I don't know if they're like an alcohol ink or not, but can you see? It just flows out like that. And I thought, well, this would be cool. Oh, you know what? I'm not quite ready either. I've got to go find me some brushes. I thought my brushes were out here, but I took them back in the other room when I was cleaning the table off. Anyway, so they're kind of like a, can y'all see that? I know it's hard to see on my paper. So I don't know if they're an ink. I haven't tried them yet. I'm kind of scared. I guess I should just get out the paper and what you would use alcohol inks on and spray water on them and see what happens. But they're really bright, and they say they're a dye, so you would think they were probably, I'm sure they're permanent. I don't know how they react to water or anything. I haven't used them yet. So maybe one of these days we'll play with those. So now I need to go again into my other room just because I'm not ready. for this video and grab my tools to do this graffiti paper. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I think I'm ready now. This is irritating when you think you have all your stuff and then you're not and you've turned the camera on. So, okay. Got some ink to stamp with. I got some wet wipes. I got my catalyst tools. I've got my brushes. I've got my water. I've got my cardboard that we're going to paint on. We're just going to do 2 pieces. I've got my glue. I don't have my gesso. Oh my gosh. Be right back. Okay, I think I'm ready now. Let's see. Now I have my circle marking tools and my gesso. Okay, and I got some homemade stamps. I love these marking stamps that I got. They make the neatest marks on the paper. This is all I need for to do my graffiti paper. They make the coolest stuff. Love, love, love them. Okay. I have some paper here that we're going to collage down. I have some stencils, if I so choose to use them. And I already have some other paper that's already tore up. So we're going to use that because I already had that tore up for another project I was using. Alrighty, let's get going on here. What we're going to do first is we're going to put some paper down on our collage some of this paper down. I don't know why, it just makes good texture. Nothing more than that. So yeah, little Belle, it almost makes you feel bad that you did this to your poor little puppy. She just is not, she's doing a lot better today. She finally ate a little bit yesterday. The first day she was home, they didn't give me any instructions. And she had a baby tooth, a baby thing that didn't come out when her big teeth came in. So they pulled that out also. And by the way, I'd made this paper. I stamped on it and made this paper. And this is a Dini Wakely new stamp of her face stamp is what that is. I don't have it here, and I'm not going in the other room to show you what it is. I'll have to show you in another video. This one's going to be long enough as it is. Okay, we're going to do our glue here. And glue some of this down. So anyway, she came home and I like to do 2 of these at once because then when one side's dry and I can work on the other side. Anyway, she came home and she was drooling out of her mouth. She wasn't quite out of it when I went to pick her up. I guess I should have left her there a little longer, but oh, so be it. I didn't. And she was really drooling out of her mouth and, you know, just really out of it. And she went to sleep in her little bed. And now I know from past dogs having operations that they're not supposed to lick their wound. But he didn't give me a collar to put around her neck. So I didn't have that. And I had one for Molly. I finally went and bought one when I had Molly done, but oh, heavens knows where that thing has gone to by now. And, so anyway, she finally, I wasn't in the room, and I think she was, I don't know what, because I wasn't in the room to watch her. I think I had finally left to maybe go use the bathroom. I don't know. And I don't know if she got up and was trying to follow me out of the room. But she decided she would get a drink of water. And when I come back in, I guess she had vomited all that water that she drank. And oh, she had a mess. So I had to clean all of that up and get her all cleaned up. And so, and then she started licking where she was operated on. And I knew that they're not supposed to do that. This is coffee filters that I jelly plated on that one day when I did some jelly plating. So I'm going to stick those on also. And, anyway, I knew she wasn't supposed to do that. So I didn't know what I was going to do or put around her. And then I thought, well, you know, they get these little bandanas put on them when they go to the vet, or not the vet, when they go to the groomers. Her and Molly both get a little bandana. And I thought, well, that's probably big enough that I, you know, because she's so skinny around her little waist. She's got a girly figure. A little girly figure. And I thought, well, I'll just put that on, you know, and tie that around, and that should keep her from licking. It did for about a couple hours, and then she figured how she could squirm around, and squirm around until she could get that away from her. And I had it tied on her as tight as I felt like I should tie it. And then I kept telling my husband, you know, I got to go to the store. I got to go to the store and buy a baby t-shirt. Because I remember the vet saying last time with Molly to get a baby t-shirt and put a baby t-shirt on him. Now, I'm not doing a whole lot of this collaging on here. I'm just doing it in spots. You can overlay it, but it does give it a fun texture. So anyway, I kept thinking, I gotta go to Target. I gotta go to Target. Target's just around the corner from us. And go to Target and get her a baby t-shirt. And I put it off till I didn't go. And I got tired. I just couldn't go. So I just got both of the bandanas and tied both of the bandanas around her. And that worked for a little while. And then I thought, well, you know, when Linda moved in and she took over my room that I was in upstairs, Linda's my sister-in-law, and there was a lot of stuff that was mine in the closet, and she cleaned out the closet and put it in a bag and told me this was my stuff out of the closet. And so I knew I had this bag down here. So I thought, well, you know, maybe that collar that I went and bought for Belle or Molly, and they're not cheap. They're like $40. Now, mind you, I already have a $400 bill with the vet. $200 for Molly's teeth and 196 for Belle's operation. So, you know, that's adds up. Okay. That's as much as I'm going to put on that one. Let's do this one while that one's drying. So, anyhow, I found this, and I remembered when I went to buy a t-shirt, and this was before Target was close by, and the only thing that was really close by us was Walgreens. When there wasn't even a pet store close by us when Molly had her operation. Well, there might have been, but I don't remember. Anyway, so the vet told me to go buy a baby t-shirt. Well, excuse me, I went to the dollar store that's close by. I went to Walgreens that was close by. All the baby t-shirts are the ones that snap in the crotch. They're the onesies. You can't find just regular old baby t-shirts, undershirts. I could have gotten her an outside, baby shirts, but they were too big. So anyway, I knew I had, so I found that bag last night thinking that I could find the collar in it. But I found these t-shirts. So I rigged it up to where I pinned it up so that the crotch part, snap in the crotch, was pinned to the top. Got it on her. And I thought I had it pretty well secured, pretty tight on her. And I woke up this morning and she has it off. And she's just a licking away. And she's pulled a few of those stitches apart. So I went up, last night I didn't have safety pins that were big enough that were in my room, and it was late, and I knew my mother-in-law had some in her room, but I wasn't going to go up there and wake her up to get safety pins. So I tried to use those little bitty ones that I have for crafting, and then they don't work so hot. But they kept it on her last night until early this morning, and she squirmed out of it. Now, mind you, she's a squirmer. She's a smarty pants, because I bought her a barking collar that, and the people who invented these barking collars need to figure out how they can get a barking collar that holds a battery that isn't so heavy around the bottom part of their neck where their vocal cords are. Because I bought her one, the vet said, oh, they have one out now that doesn't shock them, that sprays citronella. And you just, as soon as they bark, it squirts out this citronella, and they don't like that smell, so they quit barking. Well, the thing is so heavy on their neck. How's the lighting in here, guys? Is it okay? Can you see? I guess you won't know until you tell me, huh? I kind of turned it a little bit. To get it off of my face a little bit. And let me check it. Hang on. Is that a little better? It's where I've usually had it. I thought it might have shadows casting on it. This might be a little better for you. So anyway, where was I in this story? Where was I? I don't remember. I don't remember. Well, to make a long story short, Belle has a t-shirt on. My mother-in-law said she would, if this t-shirt isn't going to work. It's pinned really tight on her now, so hopefully she can't squirm out of it. And she does have, we looked at my mother-in-law's a RN, and she looked at it and said that she's got those stitches chewed way down, and I think she's got a couple of them out because we could see blood. So she said if this t-shirt didn't work, if she squirmed out of that. Oh, I don't know. I was telling you about the barking collar. So I put the barking collar on her, and all she has to do, I have it on her as tight as it will go around